Now at 10, we begin with an update on the E. coli water contamination last night. The boil water advisory is no longer in effect for 9 towns near the shoreline. The advisory was put in place last night when E. coli was found during a routine test in Essex. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Priscilla Meza. Now, the advisory threw off a lot of plans for businesses, visitors, and neighbors alike. Fox 61's Celine Arif shares how folks adapted to it.
I'm here in Deep River at one of the free supply tanks people have been using all day long. People are bringing their own jars and containers and filling up to get through at least one day under the boil advisory. Almost immediately after E. coli was detected, these emergency water trucks were delivered to John Winthrop Junior High School and the Westbrook Fire Department.
So they go outside of the zone where it was tested, where the testing came back positive. So the water did come from Brantford about 11 o'clock last night.
Deep River Emergency Management Director and Selectman Cynthia Torres says they've had dozens of families and even an assisted living facility come by to fill up bottles. And over at grocery stores, it was a race to grab bottled water before it ran out. Nathan Gold says he got to this Madison Stop and Shop bright and early.
I saw a Facebook post that they were low on water and figured we should get ahead of it, buying extra water so we can have it in case they don't restock.
At grocery stores in several towns, shelves in the water section sat empty, and the parking lots of restaurants weren't looking much better.
We're looking around. We went and worked out this morning so we can get something after to eat, but every place down in Old Service is pretty closed.
Dante Mangiafico isn't the only one disappointed by the lack of options this weekend. Brian Woods is on vacation from Westchester, New York, and says they've had an amazing time in Essex, except for this.
Last night during dinner, they brought out water bottles, which was a little bit upsetting, but we feel the worst for the staff who can't work today and feed us and make a living.
In Deep River, Celine Arif, Fox 61.
And the E. coli outbreak could have been economically devastating for local restaurants that depend on this season for business success survival, especially during peak summer weekend on the shoreline. Fox 61's Matt Scott spoke to business owners in the midst of the outbreak.
There is never a good time for a suspected E. coli contamination outbreak. But if you're a restaurant owner on the shoreline in Connecticut in the middle of summer, the bad timing could not be worse.
Especially on a Saturday, it's quite a big loss.
The parking lot at Lenny and Joe's in Madison is empty, and not for a good reason. The signs were everywhere. Boil water order, closed until further notice. At Doobie's Bagels, hope to see you soon. In Old Saybrook, the tea kettle wasn't whistling today. This food service establishment is ordered to close until further notice. Parthenon Diner owner John Sasulis got the call Friday night.
The health department required all businesses to shut down until they did more water testing.
And just like that, the open sign was turned off. No customers, an empty parking lot on the busiest day of the week. Dunkin' Donuts just outside Hammonasset State Park closed. No one told the people waiting to place an order.
Obviously it's a big hit in terms of business.
For Jonathan Bone, owner of Life Bowls in downtown Madison, staying closed wasn't an option.
First thing you kind of think about is it's a weekend in July, that's going to be tough in terms of business, but then you kind of catch your breath and say, all right, is there a way we can safely operate?
For them, that means a limited menu. Bowls? Yes. Smoothies with ice? No. But a little money is better than none at all, and a cautious restaurant gets to welcome customers back, even if the timing wasn't great.
Summertime on the shoreline is where our bread and butter is, but we're happy they caught it. We're happy that they're being cautious.
It's going to take a hit, but I think safety is the biggest concern, so if we're keeping people safe in the long run, we'll gain that money back another day.
And of course, the health and safety of their customers is far more important than making a buck off them. That said, the restaurant owners we talked to are eagerly waiting the moment where they can take down the signs and open up for business again. And that is the story on the shoreline on this Saturday. I'm Matt Scott, Fox 61 News.